The gift was wrapped in shiny blue paper, a little teddy bear clinging to the ribbon. The card read, "To Sarah and the little one. With love, Mark." I stood there, in the middle of our living room, surrounded by friends and family celebrating my wife's baby shower, and a cold dread washed over me. Who the hell was Mark? Sarah snatched the card from my hand, her smile a little too tight, her eyes darting away. "Oh, just a guy from work," she mumbled, quickly stuffing it into her purse. But I saw the flicker of panic. It was a lie. Ow. I knew it in my gut. And in that moment, our perfect life, the one we built in our cozy Lincoln Park brownstone, began to crumble. This story gets intense, so if you're ready for the whole truth, hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what happens next. For the next few weeks, I lived in a fog. Sarah's behavior became a textbook of deception. Her phone, once left casually on the coffee table, was now glued to her hand, screen down. Late nights at the office became a regular excuse, her texts short and dismissive. I'd call her work the architecture firm near the Wrigley building, and her assistant would sound confused. "Sarah left hours ago, Ethan." I tried to confront her, my voice shaking. "Sarah, what's going on?" She'd just laugh it off, blaming my stress, blaming her pregnancy hormones. She'd place my hand on her growing belly and say, "It's just you and me and our baby. Don't be silly." She was so convincing, so arrogant in her lies, that I almost believed her. I started to think I was going crazy, that the stress of impending fatherhood was making me paranoid. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I came home early, hoping to surprise her with dinner from our favorite spot on Clark Street. Our apartment was silent. I found her phone on the nightstand. She'd forgotten it in her rush to an emergency client meeting. It buzzed. A message lit up the screen. It was from Mark. The words burned into my brain. "Last night was amazing. Can't wait to have you. An asterisk, our asterisk baby all to myself. He's a fool. Our baby." The floor felt like it dropped out from under me. I collapsed onto the edge of the bed, the air sucked from my lungs. It wasn't just a physical affair. This was a complete betrayal. A plot to steal my life, my future, my child. The love I felt for her curdled into something cold and sharp. The grief was a physical weight, pressing down until I could barely breathe. I didn't cry. I just sat there in the dark, the city lights of Chicago twinkling outside, and I felt something inside me break. The man who loved Sarah died in that room. What was left was something else entirely, something patient and ruthless. That night, my mission began. The pain didn't disappear. I just packed it away, using it as fuel. I became a ghost in my own home. I installed a small, undetectable keylogger on her laptop. I put a voice-activated recorder under the driver's seat of her car. Every night, while she slept peacefully beside me, her belly a monument to her deceit, I would go to my home office, put on my headphones, and listen. I heard their secret conversations, their plans for a future together after the baby was born. I read their emails filled with sickening pet names and contempt for me. I learned that Mark was a wealthy real estate developer she'd met at a conference 6 months ago. He was smug, condescending, and utterly convinced of his own superiority. I followed them. I took pictures of them meeting for lunch at a secluded cafe in River North, of him touching her stomach, of them kissing in the parking garage of his office building on Wacker Drive. Each piece of evidence was a twist of the knife. But I saved every photo, every recording, every email to a secure, encrypted drive. My heart was a block of ice, but my mind was a furnace, forging a plan. The revenge had to be total. Financial, social, emotional. I met with the best divorce lawyer in Chicago, a shark known for her scorched earth tactics. I laid out my mountain of evidence. Her eyes widened. "Mr. Thompson," she said, "this is comprehensive. With Illinois being a no-fault state, the affair itself won't change the division of assets, but the fraud. That's another story. We discovered that Sarah had been funneling money from our joint savings account into a private one. She'd also convinced me to invest a significant portion of my inheritance into one of Mark's fraudulent real estate schemes, a shell company designed to bleed me dry." My lawyer smiled grimly. "We had them. We prepared the lawsuit, the asset freezes, the divorce papers. But I told her to wait. I wasn't done. The legal destruction was only half of it. The public humiliation needed to be a masterpiece. The perfect stage was our gender reveal party. Sarah had insisted on it. A grand affair at a rented-out event space overlooking Navy Pier. All our friends, our families, her proud parents, his arrogant colleagues. Everyone would be there. She was radiant that day, dressed in white, basking in the attention. She had no idea she was walking into her own execution. I was the perfect, doting husband, smiling, shaking hands, my heart pounding a steady, cold rhythm. The moment came for the big reveal. A giant black box sat in the center of the room. Sarah and I stood beside it, ready to open it and unleash a cloud of blue or pink balloons. I took the microphone. "Thank you all for coming," I began, my voice steady. "Sarah and I are so excited to share this moment with you. But before we find out if it's a boy or a girl, there's another little secret I'd like to share." I looked directly at Sarah. The color drained from her face. I gestured to a massive screen behind us. "I've put together a little slideshow," I said. The first image flashed onto the screen, a crystal-clear photo of Sarah and Mark kissing. A collective gasp filled the room. The next slide was a screenshot of their texts. "He's a fool." Then another photo of them holding hands. Then an audio clip played over the speakers, Mark's voice filling the silent room. "Don't worry, babe. Once the baby's born, we'll tell the idiot it's his, and you can leave him with nothing." Sarah's mother screamed. Her father looked like he was going to faint. Sarah just stood there, frozen, her face a mask of horror. I let the evidence play out the emails, the bank statements showing the stolen money, the proof of the fraudulent investment. When it was over, I turned back to the crowd. "So as it turns out, the gender doesn't really matter to me, because the baby isn't mine." I turned to Mark, who was trying to sneak out the back. "And Mark, my lawyers will be in touch about that investment. It's called fraud." I dropped the microphone. It clattered on the floor, the sound echoing in the dead silence. I walked out of that room and never looked back. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Sarah's family disowned her. Her friends vanished. She was fired from her job for the scandal. Mark's company collapsed under the weight of the fraud investigation, and he was buried in lawsuits. I filed for divorce the next morning, and the pre-gathered evidence made it a swift, clean process. The court awarded me every penny she had stolen, and then some. She was left with nothing. No money, no friends, no family, no career. Just a baby that would forever be a symbol of her downfall. I moved out of Chicago, away from the ghosts and the memories. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder what happened to her, to them. The feeling passes. I got my life back, but the man I used to be is gone forever, replaced by the one who stood in that room and watched her world burn. Some wounds never really heal. They just scar over.